Hi, I'm Lisa Lockwood. Welcome to West Coast Weekly. We have an exciting show for you today. This is Joan Ranquet, animal communicator, TEDx speaker, and author.
She was a Desert Storm soldier, beauty pageant contestant, undercover narcotics detective, and SWAT officer. She's a motivational speaker and author, and to no one's surprise, the reinvention expert. She's Lisa Lockwood, and this is West Coast Weekly.
Animal communicator Joan Ranquet. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How did you start to realize you had an ability to communicate with animals?
Well, first I had an animal communicator come out and talk to my horse at the time. This was a billion years ago.
Okay.
And I thought, wow, that is the coolest thing on the planet. So I started asking her, how do you do it? And she said, you receive pictures, words, and feelings. And I played with it a little bit, but eventually I ended up taking a class. But I noticed I could do it with my horse.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And how did you know it was working with the horse?
Well, to be quite honest, it's much better to get started with someone else's animals because you don't have an agenda. And so
Right.
I would find out things that an animal would tell me and it would get verified by the person. And so I started really building my trust. And
Yes.
once I started trusting myself, I, went a little further with it and a little further until I finally got book deals.
Yes, because it's such a unique thing. And I want to show this. This is communication with all life. And then also here, energy healing for animals. Which was first?
Communication with all life.
Okay.
With Hay House.
So now does this, Hay House, a very distinguished publishing group, this communication with all life, tell me a little bit about you knowing that it would cross over into other animals.
Well, first of all animals communicate very similarly, and that's through telepathy, pictures, words, and feelings. So
Okay.
if you see like a herd of deer and one gets nervous, like there's no memo that goes out. They all of a
Right.
sudden kind of pick up on that vibe, that feeling.
Energy.
Exactly.
Yes.
So then they might all take off and respond to their fear. So with our animals at home, they're doing the same thing with us. So a lot of times we have naughty behavior and we don't realize that we're, actually setting them up to be naughty. There's one way that all animals communicate, through telepathy, and then we can learn how to tap into that ourselves.
If somebody has an animal right now, for instance, that may have an ailment, okay, if they got this healing book,
Yes.
would they be able to learn how
Yeah,
to...
I have a lot of hands-on approaches in that book. And also, the biggest thing you can do with somebody who has an ailment is get them in a big state of relaxation. So I
Yes.
have a lot of relaxation techniques in there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, you have the ability to teach people because obviously you took a course and you learned how to do this. So now people come to you to learn how to achieve the skill that you have.
Yes, I have a school called Communication with All Life University, and so I teach people to become animal communicators or energy healers for animals. And then I'm going to open a conservation wing because I love helping with wildlife, and I take people on wildlife trips.
Oh, beautiful. Give me your repertoire of animals that you currently have.
I have 2 horses, 2 dogs, and 4 cats.
Yes.
And I'm down a horse and a dog.
Oh. So you're ready to attract that.
Eventually, yeah. Not quite today, but yeah, soon.
And then you also do animal therapy, I believe. Isn't that correct?
Well, through the healing work, it ends
Yes.
up being like therapy, and then people work with maybe their holistic veterinarian, or sometimes they go to rehab.
Do you feel like this, you have found your calling of what you're meant to do?
I found my calling. I feel like the luckiest person on the planet.
I do too. I love the fact that you're here. I'm a huge animal lover. And the reason that I asked you about healing with animals is because energy we talk about is everything.
Yeah.
And currently, my little baby Maltese has a little growth under here. Got it tested. We're still waiting for the results. And I just have to ask advice on that because I know my energy and holding the thought that she probably is healing every second. She's healing right now.
Right.
Those type of things help the process. Am I right?
Absolutely.
A lot of prayer.
Yeah, a lot of prayer.
Yes.
A lot of just holding strong on behalf of her.
Yes.
You know, and I mean, there might be times that we get disheartened and we, you know, feel like, oh my God, my poor little dog. But
Yes.
have those moments because they're real, but then also remember that you're the emotion. I like to say you're the emotional leader in the household.
I love that.
So
That's true. Years ago, I had a good friend of mine who would tell a story about them going into the hospital room and telling his mom that she only had X amount of time to live, wanting to do that, and he forbid them. He said, do not go in there and plant the seed that she will die, because inevitably people who have that, the energy changes.
Absolutely.
He forbid it, and his mom went on to live with whatever she had gotten through that and lived another 12 years. So I made sure, I took that advice when I went to the vet, and I said, can we just not assume what it could be until we get the results back?
Good for
And
you.
she was taken aback by that response and said, well, we want to make sure we cover. I said, I don't care. We're not covering anything until we actually know what it is. So I know that holding the energy is important. Of course, there's that fear inside of, could this be something? But I also know the power of that. So I'm glad that you teach that. You subscribe to those beliefs, because energy is everything, and lots of prayer. People want to get in touch with you. How do they do that?
they can go to my website, joanranquet.com. And then I also have special tips for better communication in your house. And even, communication starts with being able to get quiet. So I have a little meditation. If people want to go to joanranquet.com/special gift, then they can get quiet with me.
And I'm going to get quiet with you too. You can count on
Okay,
that.
good.
Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you,
us
and I'll
today.
be
I love your
praying for your
wisdom.
dog.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll be
Thank
right
you.
back with more West Coast Weekly.